And
30
then,
seconds.
flat earthers could obviously pound sand at that point if that were the case. And so, yeah, I think that's overall my primary response to your opening statement.
Okay, Aaron, thanks for that. I'll see that. A little bit of housekeeping before we move on to Catz. We've got a donation from Dora. Thank you, Dora. And she basically says different weights, different latitudes is new to you, Aaron. I'd suggest a refund on the physics studies is in order. And also we've got another gifted from David Woodmansey. So thanks very much to David Woodmansey. And we've got another one coming in. Can't keep up with these. Here we go. Another one from David Woodmansey. Aaron, grams are mass, not weight. A 1 kilogram mass will not change its mass. Its weight will change. You studied physics? ? Okay. So I think that's wrap that up. I think, and I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to unmute you, Catz.
Coolio. If anyone saw me, can you share my screen, please? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course it is, mate. I mean, we are agreed on the fee. It's 50 pence every time we do it.
Thanking you. Put it in the meter. Let us know when the time starts.
Okay, I'm going to start your time in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, what you've probably seen on screen, if you saw me typing away while Aaron was giving his rebuttal, I was just making notes on the rebuttal Aaron was giving. I'll address those actually within this section as well, purely because my actual rebuttal to his opening statement isn't going to take too long, because he mainly focused on what he would call Airy's failure and the Michelson-Morley experiment. Now, obviously, people have talked about Michelson-Morley and Airy's failure for years and years and years and years and years in the flat Earth. And I know Aaron, and I'm curious to ask Aaron this later on, because obviously he's. In fact, Aaron, can I just ask you to unmute? Have you read the paper, the Michelson-Morley paper? Can I just ask you that? Yes. Have you read that?
No, I have not.
Okay. Right. So let me bring the paper up. I'm going to bring it over here. This is the Michelson-Morley paper. And I think the thing is, Aaron, you're an extremely polite individual. You've been an absolute gentleman in all our dealings. But what you've done here is you've done the same thing that every flat earther does, is that you listen to sound bites fed to you by other flat earthers. I'm assuming Nathan Oakley is one of the people you watched. I know you're a Mark Sargent fan. I've seen you in the Behind the Curve documentary. And you've just you've had all this time to prepare for a debate. And you've brought Airy's failure and Michelson and Morley as saying they disprove the motion of the Earth. That's just what you've brought. And let's not forget that when you were sending the email, it was all about the importance of reproducible experiments and empirical data. You use that over and over again. In your opening statement, you talked about that, and you said how the globe doesn't have that, and there's no real evidence coming from the globe. There's nothing reproducible, nothing empirical. And then in your opening statement, your two main things were the Michelson-Morley experiment and Airy's failure to say that the Earth wasn't moving. But you haven't read the Michelson-Morley paper. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to zoom in on this, and we're going to read the very, very first paragraph of the paper. If I can just scroll across. So obviously we've got the opening page. I'm going to read the first paragraph of this paper that I think perhaps you should have read if you're going to use it as evidence, because it doesn't look good if you're using evidence that you've not seen. I don't know how this comes across on the screen, so I'm going to read it. The discovery of the aberration of light, which is obviously links into your Airy's failure, was soon followed by an explanation according to the emission theory. The effect was attributed to a simple composition of the velocity of light with the velocity of the Earth in its orbit. In the very, very first two sentences, the authors here are acknowledging that the Earth is moving in an orbit. It then goes on to talk about how difficult it was for them to